I was 24, turning 25, when I reluctantly started the little potato company with my father. It's not exactly what I thought I was going to be doing with a business and a political science degree. I had other ambitions, and agriculture and selling potatoes was not one of them. But my dad, he was a serial entrepreneur and had a good idea and asked for my help, so I agreed with the condition I was only going to do it for a little while. I'll help you out, but then I'm going to move on. So our first year, we planted our 1 acre by hand, planted it and harvested it by hand, and washed it in a bathtub. That is a true story, and obviously food safety was not at the height that it was now. I will say that we didn't use a bathtub for anything else. So we brought it around to local delis and got a really good response. Our second crop was basically sold before it was even harvested to a local Western Canadian retailer. Fast forward 17 years, we have about 125 employees. We grow over 4,400 acres of small potatoes in 6 provinces and 4 states. And we pack over 50 million pounds of these little small potatoes in Edmonton and in Charlottetown, PEI. So what happened to that young woman who said, I'll only help out for a while? Well, I fell in love with agriculture. And I fell in love with the values of agriculture and how that was in sync with who I was. And I started to love potatoes. So what I wanted to briefly share with you today is how that reluctant 24-year-old was raised into a CEO. Well, I have to start, obviously, with my parents. Joe alluded to it already, and how I was raised. And there's a few key things that I think I could sum up. My parents built an amazing foundation for my brothers and I. The first thing they did was provide a consistent, unconditional support for our dreams. No matter the dream, we were led to believe we were capable. The second thing, and Joe also mentioned that too, we were raised gender neutral. And what I mean by that was the same rules applied for me as it did for my brothers. We had the same expectations and the same opportunities. My dad taught all of us a trade. He taught me how to drywall, tape, and paint, just like he did my brothers. The responsibility around the home, there was no difference between what was expected of me versus my brothers. So I never grew up thinking I couldn't because I was a female. The third was supported, not coddled. So we were always pushed through adversity. We were never rescued as kids. We were always taught that challenges were meant to be pushed through and offered growth. The second big thing for me that has had a big impact on me growing as a leader is support groups, if you want to say. So they came in several forms. One was business organizations, so like Entrepreneurs Organization, Young Presidents Organization, an Agri-CEO Club, putting together like-minded people that run businesses, sharing best practices, sharing stories and learning, and then the overall idea that you're not alone, that, oh, you've got that problem too. Had a big impact on me growing as a leader. The second thing I have is an advisory board. And I chose to do this for me because it's a balance between still being empowered to make decisions for the business, but also having the ability to get advice. So what an advisory board has provided me is support and guidance. I'm allowed to surround myself with people that have been there, done it. I've been able to expand my toolbox in terms of what I can do and deal with in terms of growing a business without having to necessarily go through it myself. The third thing that I've done that has had a huge impact in my growth is I've had business coaches. I still have one. I meet with him regularly, speak regularly. And what that has provided me is a safe spot to struggle and to be vulnerable. And a good coach for me has been able to push me, challenge me. And when you run your own business, you often don't have someone that you're accountable to. So a good coach can really help make you accountable to what you said you were going to do. The third sort of area is just, in general, personal development. And One of the advice I had got from my first business coach was make sure you don't become the bottleneck for your organization. So one of the things that, you know, we've talked about and it was mentioned here already is fill your gaps or hire amazing people. Hire people that are smarter and hire to your weaknesses. Absolutely, but you can't do that without self-reflection and self-awareness. And that was probably the biggest impact on me as growing as a leader, was the ability to look inside and go, oh, okay, I'm good at this. This is something that drains me, depletes me. This is something that gives me energy. The second thing from learning, yes, there's formal learning, post-secondary. I've done executive programs and workshops. But the biggest learnings for me came from life learnings. So dealing with breast cancer at 39, raising 4 kids, and just the challenges you face personally with growing a business have been probably the biggest key learnings for me. The other thing, of course, putting a vision for your business, very important. We use a one-page strategic plan, full transparency to all our employees. But what I discovered through one of my learnings when I got sick was I needed a vision for myself. And so I have integrated balance in my life by putting my own vision board together on what's important to me. I'm still growing. As a CEO, I may have left my parents' home many, many years ago, but there's a community still raising me, from my family to colleagues to mentors to the team at Little Potato Company. And importantly, I make sure I embrace all of life's challenges as lessons for growth. And the fun part is that I'm still discovering myself, and that's what's so amazing. So for me, to you, is please enjoy your journey. Thank you.